Welcome to Dusk and Dreams. I'm Yarrow, your guide through the quiet hours, where thoughts deepen, imagination stirs, and the night comes alive. Tonight, we're talking about one of my absolute favorite topics, the fascinating world of dream science and symbolism. Have you ever woken up from a dream and wondered, what on earth did that mean? Dreams are a truly fascinating window into our subconscious minds. While some feel like bizarre stories that don't make any sense, others stay with us, lingering long after we wake up. Some leave us feeling bewildered, others, perhaps with some odd, strong emotion we can't quite shake. I know I've had plenty of nights where my thoughts just wouldn't shut down, filling my mind with creative ideas or unresolved questions. And I've had dreams so vivid they felt like a second life, where, when I woke up, I wasn't even entirely sure if I had already been awake for the past few hours or not. But what if those strange, vivid dreams are trying to tell us something? You're not alone in asking these questions, and this space was made for you. I'm not a certified dream expert, but I've always been captivated by the power of our minds, especially when we sleep. From my early psychology studies on through adulthood, I've done a lot of research and personal reflection on dreams, and I'm really excited to share with you what I've learned about common dream themes and what they might symbolize. Plus, we'll dive into a couple of creative dreams submitted by listeners and clients of mine who have graciously allowed me to share them, giving us a chance to head into the weird and wonderful world of dreams together. Let's start with a big question. Why do we dream in the first place? The honest truth is, we don't fully know all the answers yet, and that's part of the magic. Scientists have many theories, though. Some believe dreams help us process all the emotions and events from our day, almost like a nightly cleanup crew for our brains. Others think dreams may play a role in problem solving or even sparking our creativity. What we do know for sure is that dreams mostly happen during the REM, rapid eye movement, stage of sleep. When our brains are incredibly active, they're definitely not off. In fact, the brain's activity during REM can rival or even exceed what we see during waking hours. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and reasoning, slows down, while the amygdala and limbic system, the emotional centers, light up. That's part of why dreams can feel so vivid and emotional, and also why they sometimes break the rules of logic. The rational gatekeeper is off duty. You see, during REM sleep, your brain is doing a tremendous amount of important work. It's taking all the experiences, emotions, thoughts, and even fragmented information from your day and trying to sort and organize it. And sometimes it doesn't whisper, it paints in bold strokes. That's where the symbolism comes in, and is a crucial part of how we form memories and how we manage our feelings. So, what does this sorting look like? Often, it appears as a dream. While dreams can sometimes feel completely wild and nonsensical, like that dream about a flying purple elephant leading a parade of your high school teachers, they're rarely just random noise. Instead, they often reflect our waking lives in very personal, symbolic ways. Think of them like a highly tailored, often exaggerated internal movie produced by your own subconscious mind. They can gently show us fears we didn't consciously realize we had, desires we've pushed down, or even creative solutions to problems we're facing. For me, understanding this made my wildest dreams feel less weird and much more insightful. Now let's talk about some common dream themes and what they might represent. This is where it gets really interesting. Of course, every dream is unique, and its meaning can vary depending on your personal experiences and feelings. Researchers have found that dream content often mirrors waking life concerns, especially emotional stressors. In cognitive psychology, this is called the continuity hypothesis. The idea that our dreams reflect the thoughts, emotions, and themes of our waking life. It's less about magical prediction and more about emotional integration. But here are a few examples you might have had. First up, falling. Dreams of falling are extremely common. They often represent a feeling of losing control or being overwhelmed in some area of your life. You might be going through a situation in your waking life where you feel powerless or uncertain, and the sensation of falling simply reflects that fear of losing your grip. Instead of just focusing on the fear, ask yourself, is there an area where you've been holding on too tightly? And perhaps the dream is hinting that it's safe or even necessary to let go a little? Sometimes falling can also symbolize a release into the unknown, a surrender to a new path. Next, being chased. If you're running away from someone or something in a dream, it's usually a sign that you're avoiding something in real life, maybe a problem, a difficult conversation, or an emotion that you don't want to face. The question to ask yourself is, what or who are you running from, and why? Consider the chase itself. Are you able to outrun it, or does it feel inevitable? This might reflect your current sense of power or helplessness in facing that real-life issue. Sometimes the chaser can even be a part of yourself, a repressed idea or feeling that your subconscious is trying to bring into your awareness. Then there's flying. Flying dreams can be absolutely exhilarating. They often symbolize a strong desire for freedom or escape. If you dream of flying, it may mean you're longing to break free from something that's holding you down, whether it's a situation, a responsibility, or even an old mindset. Notice the quality of your flight. Is it effortless and joyful, suggesting you're already tapping into a sense of liberation? Or is it a struggle, hinting at obstacles you perceive? Sometimes flying can also symbolize rising above a challenge, gaining a new perspective, or achieving a higher level of awareness. Another is of your teeth falling out. As strange as it sounds, this is another very common dream. Teeth often represent our power and confidence, so when they fall out in a dream, it's often connected to feelings of insecurity, vulnerability, or a fear of losing control over a situation in your waking life. This dream can be particularly unsettling. Consider if it relates to a recent situation where you felt unheard, unable to express yourself, or if you're worried about your appearance or ability to bite into a new challenge. It might be a call to acknowledge where you feel weakest, perhaps to find inner strength. And one of the most common is being unprepared for an exam or event. Dreaming about being unprepared, whether for a test, a presentation, or a big event, often points to feelings of anxiety or self-doubt in real life. It may be your mind's way of processing stress about a challenge or responsibility you're currently facing. Interestingly, this dream often appears when you're actually quite prepared, but are experiencing imposter syndrome or high expectations. It can also point to a feeling that you're being tested in your waking life in an area you feel unqualified for, or that you're about to step into a new role where you fear exposure. Okay, but through all of those, here's where it gets especially personal. While these common themes exist, I truly believe your dream symbols are deeply unique to you. Think about it. A house in one person's dream might represent their sense of security or their family. For another who just moved, it might represent a new beginning or even the stress of unpacking. The very same symbol can mean vastly different things depending on your unique experiences, feelings, and memories. So, instead of looking up, What does a flying dream mean in a general sleep dictionary? I encourage you to ask yourself, what does flying mean to me right now? Does it represent freedom, escape, a desire to soar above a problem, or maybe a fear of falling? Your subconscious is using its own unique language, drawing from your life story. Take everything into context. While symbols are fascinating, the true language of dreams, in my experience, is emotion. Even if you can't remember a single image from your dream, you often remember how it felt. This isn't just poetic. There's science behind it. Emotional processing is a major function of REM sleep. The brain literally replays emotional memories during this stage and tries to file them in a way that reduces their intensity. Some scientists call it overnight therapy. That's part of why dreaming about something stressful can help you wake up feeling emotionally lighter. It's your brain running an update patch. In other words, that feeling of anxiety, joy, frustration, liberation, or peace. That's the core message. Our brains process emotions intensely during REM sleep, and dreams often serve as a way to work through unresolved feelings from the day. This is part of our brain's natural emotional regulation system. It's why sometimes, after a really tough day, you might have a vivid, unsettling dream, and then wake up feeling a tiny bit lighter, as if your brain did some heavy lifting overnight. I want to share a couple of creative dream stories that listeners and clients have sent in. These are great examples of how dreams can be strange, vivid, and filled with symbols that reflect what's happening beneath the surface, especially when we look at the emotions involved. Sophia from New York wrote about a recurring dream where she's standing at the edge of a cliff, surrounded by towers of high-rise buildings, holding a hot pink bird in her hands. The bird is trying to fly away, but she's afraid to let it go. Finally, when she releases it, the bird soars into the sky, and Sophia finds herself floating in the air, the buildings disappearing, watching the bird fade into the horizon. Sophia, this dream beautifully captures a conflict between holding on to something and the fear of letting it go. The bird might represent a situation, a relationship, or even a part of yourself that you're afraid to release. But once you do, there's a clear sense of freedom and relief, powerfully represented by the act of flying. The underlying emotion here is liberation, perhaps after a period of fear. As you reflect on this, Sophia, consider, what might that bird be in your waking life right now? And what would it feel like to truly let it soar? Jason from Chicago shared his dream about a mysterious forest where he's running through trees at night, trying to find his way home. The trees seem to whisper, and the forest becomes a maze, twisting and turning. No matter how fast he runs, he can't seem to find the path out. Jason, forests and dreams often represent the unknown, confusion, or a situation where you feel lost. Running through the forest could reflect feelings of being overwhelmed or uncertain in your waking life, and the whispers of the trees might symbolize inner voices or thoughts that are complicating your situation. This dream may be pointing to a need to pause and reflect instead of trying to rush toward a solution, highlighting feelings of frustration and disorientation. For you, Jason, what forest are you navigating right now? And what might happen if you simply stopped running for a moment to listen? Are you perhaps new to Chicago and simply trying to navigate the city's streets? It's a simple answer, but surprisingly, that's most often the best starting point. From there, the more complex challenges can be tackled one step at a time. Trust in the process and in your ability to solve this. By focusing on the emotions your dreams evoke, or even going so far as capturing them in a dream journal, you can gain incredible insight into your current emotional landscape. It's a powerful tool for personal growth, allowing you to identify underlying anxieties, unexpressed joys, or areas where you might need to give yourself more compassion. There's growing research in the field of lucid dreaming and dream journaling that shows how simply writing down your dreams and exploring the feelings tied to them can increase self-awareness, reduce anxiety, and even unlock creative problem solving. Personally, I've found that honoring these dream emotions has led to profound aha moments for me. So whether your dreams are vivid adventures or quiet whispers, I truly hope you now see them not as random noise, but as a fascinating conversation your subconscious is having with you. They're a unique window into your inner world, offering insights into your emotions, your thoughts, and what truly matters to you. You're not just dreaming, you're processing, creating, and uncovering more about yourself every night. Thank you for joining me in this shared exploration. This is Dusk and Dreams, and I'm Yarrow. In our continued exploration into the incredible power of the night's stories, next, on Friday, we step into a different kind of reality. We're going to bravely explore the darker side of dreams, diving into nightmares and sleep demons, and specifically, the oneiroi, the black-winged bringers of dreams themselves. It's going to be a wild, thought-provoking journey. I'll be stepping aside for a bit as my alter ego, Wild Dragons, takes wing and takes the lead. It's been a privilege to guide you through another night on Dusk and Dreams. If this podcast helps you find peace, spark creativity, or simply offers a moment of captivating escape, please consider following or subscribing wherever you listen. Your support helps us build this community of night-minded souls. We're available on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, as well as many others. To learn more about the show or connect with me, Yarrow, visit www.breakgrid.com or follow at Yarrow Diamond on Instagram. Thank you again for listening. Until we meet again, remember, the night listens back.